Hello guys, I'm back with another charity shop book haul, and I have a lot of books that I need to go through so that I can put them on my shelves because they've just been sitting in bags again. I'm just going to jump straight in with this. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and here we go. So like before, we've been travelling around, going to different towns and visiting different charity shops, and I know the first few of these we picked up in Brighouse, and I was very happy about some of the things we picked up. And the first book we picked up was A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara. If that's not how you pronounce it, I apologise. Andy has already read this. He borrowed it from the library and he wanted to pick up a copy, and yeah, we found this. It looks brand new, it's in very good condition, and so we picked a copy of this because Andy might reread it, and he definitely said that I should read this, but it looks like a very upsetting book based on Andy's reactions to the book. So I'm like, I feel like I need to be in a good headspace to read this, and I am not there yet. So hopefully one day, when I'm in a very good place mentally, I will pick up this book and hopefully it won't destroy me. The next one, I think these were on like £3 for £1, so I picked up Cut by Mark Rabe. Some Men Are Born Evil, a gripping serial killer thriller. Can't go wrong with a thriller when you don't know what else to pick up. The serial killer thriller that took Europe by storm. At 11 years old, Gabriel Norman is witness to a horrific crime. 29 years later, his girlfriend is taken. Then the messages begin. If you want to find her, then you'll have to find me. Somebody knows the truth, somebody knows what he did, and now his girlfriend will pay for it unless he can find her in time. When you've spent decades running from your past, what do you do when it finally catches up with you? Whenever there's books on like £3 for £1 and we've already got a couple that we want to get, and we're just kind of like, oh, let's pick up another one, I always go for a thriller. Yeah, I just like to read the backs of the book, see what sounds interesting to me, and I liked the sound of this one, so I picked it up. Also on £3 for £1, I got Where the Crawdads Sing. This has been doing the rounds on Bookstagram and Book Talk. Don't ask me why. I have this weird thing. Whenever I see a date on the back of a book, for some reason it puts me off. I can't tell you why. This one says, in late 1969, when handsome Chase Andrews is found dead, the locals immediately suspect Kaya Clark, the so-called marsh girl. But Kaya is not what they say. Sensitive and intelligent, she has survived for years alone in the marsh that she calls home, finding friends in the gulls and lessons in the sand. Then the time comes when she yearns to be loved. When two young men from town become intrigued by her wild beauty, Kaya opens herself to a new life until the unthinkable happens. I don't really know anything about this. That, like, what I just read is as much as I know. But yeah, I've heard good things, so hopefully this will be good. Next up we have a copy of Vox. This is by Christina Dalcher. I was tempted to pick this up, and then for some reason I suddenly was like, no, I'm not going to pick it up. And then Andy was like, well, if you're not picking it up, I'll pick it up. So we got it. We Will Not Be Silenced. Jean McKellen spends her time in almost complete silence, limited to just 100 words a day. Any more and 1,000 volts of electricity will course through her veins. Now the new government is in power, everything has changed, but only if you're a woman. Almost overnight, bank accounts are frozen, passports are taken away, and 70 million women lose their jobs. Even more terrifyingly, young girls are no longer taught to read or write. For herself, her daughter, and for every woman silenced, Jean will reclaim her voice. This is only the beginning. 100 word limit reached. I really like that they did that with the synopsis. It's 100 words. It sounds interesting. I feel like I will probably like feel very angry reading this book. Although I suppose it depends how it ends. I'm not sure if this is a standalone or not. I'm going to have to check that. Next up, I picked up Noble Conflict by Mallory Blackman. So this is by the same author of the Noughts and Crosses series. I've got the first 4 books in that series, which I haven't started reading yet. I think there's 2 more I need to pick up in that. The last one only just came out this year. It says, years after a violent war destroyed much of the world, Casper has grown up in a society based on peace and harmony, but beyond the city walls, a vicious band of rebels is plotting to tear this peace apart. It is up to the Guardians, an elite peacekeeping force, to protect the city without ever resorting to the brutal methods of their enemy. When Casper joins the Guardians, he has a chance encounter with a rebel, a beautiful girl named Ree. Haunted from that moment on by strange visions and memories that could only belong to Ree, he realises he hasn't been told the truth about what the rebels really want and what he's really fighting for. That's all it says. I just thought it sounded really interesting. I think this one's a standalone. Nice hardback copy as well. Next up, Michael Crichton, The Lost World, 50p hardback copy. This is just the follow-up to Jurassic Park. Next up, I managed to find Clariel by Garth Nick. Paid £1.49 for this one, but this was to complete the series. Oh, sorry, this is the prequel to the Old Kingdom trilogy, which I have. I'll have to look up whether I'm going to read this first or last. Next up, I managed to find Beautiful Redemption and Beautiful Chaos. I picked these up because I have the other two in this series, and I'm pretty sure it was a 4-book series. So this one was £1.50, and I'm assuming this would have been between 50p and £1.50. So I'm pretty sure I've completed this series now. Next up, I picked up a copy of The Hunting Party by Lucy Foley. This was just one that I saw in the shop. It stood out to me. I liked the sound of it, but I have checked on Goodreads and there are some bad reviews. But I'm going to try it anyway. So it says, in a remote hunting lodge deep in the Scottish wilderness, old friends gather for New Year. The beautiful one, the golden couple, the volatile one, the new parents, the quiet one, the city boy, the outsider, the victim. Not an accident, a murder among friends. So, I love a good thriller. Can't wait to read that. I think I paid 50p for that one. Next up, Andy found another Terry Pratchett book. This is another one of the Discworld novels. It is The Light Fantastic. These can be quite expensive depending on where you find them. We've seen these up to like £3-4 and above, but I can't remember where we got this, so it would probably have cost us anything up to £3 for this. Next up we have The Broken Harbour by Tana French. This is that series again where it starts with, is it Into the Woods? So it's part of a crime series. This one costs us £2.99 from Oxfam Bookshop. Quite like the sound at the back of this one. It says that sometimes there is no safe place. Nothing about the way this family lived shows why they deserve to die. But here's the thing about murder. 99 times out of 100, it doesn't break into people's lives. It gets there because they open the door and invite it in. Sounds creepy. Next up, I've already collected the trilogy for this, and it's the His Dark Materials. So I have the point versions up here, all 3 books. But then I saw this really nice copy in a charity shop. So I'm thinking I might get rid of the trilogy and just keep this book. So this is a copy of His Dark Materials. It contains all 3 of the books. It's this lovely hardback edition and it's in really good condition. It doesn't look like it's been read. And this cost me £1. £1? I just think this is a lovely edition. Oof. RRP UK £20. I'm really, really happy with that. I like picking up really nice editions of books, especially for £1. I was so excited when I found these. So I've been collecting the Shadowhunter novels by Cassandra Clare. I've managed to collect all 6 of the Mortal Instruments books in charity shops separately, and I managed to find the Dark Artificers books all together in the same shop. 2 of them were £2 and 1 of them were £1.50. I am so happy with this. We went to Wakefield. The last shop that we went to was quite a trek away from the others, and they had these and I was so happy. Like, it just made the trip worth it. It's annoying if you travel quite a distance to go around the charity shops and you don't find anything. I always feel like if I find at least one book that I really wanted, it's worth it. So this made the trip worth it. So I got Lady Midnight, Lord of Shadows, The Queen of Air and Darkness. Very nice when you find all the matching editions as well. Next up we have another one of Andy's collections. This is the 6th June novel by Frank Herbert. I really want to see the film, but I'm going to listen to the audiobook version of the book first. I have it on hold with my library, so I'm waiting for that to come up and then hopefully I can read the first book. This one I do not remember picking up at all. I'm guessing I picked this up. It was 50p in Oxfam. It's called Seeing Other People by Mike Gale. It says his most heartwarming, heart-stopping, heartbreaking novel yet. Joe Clark is about 78% sure he's just had an affair. Well, that is the beautiful office intern in bed next to him. But if Joe really has just cheated, why can't he remember anything about it? Confused but mortified, Joe vows to be a better husband and father until his wife Penny puts 2 and 2 together and leaves him. Devastated, Joe will do anything to win his family back, but when he realises that the key to saving his marriage lies in the hands of the mean-spirited ghost of his least favourite ex-girlfriend, Joe knows he's in real trouble. Seeing Other People is a hilarious and bittersweet novel about love, parenthood and fidelity, and how easy it is to get lost on the way to your own happy ending. It sounds like it could be fun. Next up, we found a copy of American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I feel like I just said that really weird. American Gods. American Gods. Andy read The Ocean at the End of the Lane, and he said it's really, really good and that I should read it. And yeah, he wanted to read more Neil Gaiman books, so we picked this one up. This was £1. Does that come off? No, it doesn't. I hate these things. We managed to find another book from the Wheel of Time series. This was book 6 of the Wheel of Time, which is Lord of Chaos, and we can add this to our collection. I think I found that in a free bookshop, but I think I paid 50p for it. Next, I got book 2 in the Age of 5 series by Trudy Caravan. This is The Last of the Wilds, and this one cost me £2. I'm assuming I picked this up because I have book 1 and book 3 already. Next up, I managed to find the Infernal Devices book 1, A Clockwork Angel. It cost me £2.50, and I got a little bit impatient after finding this one, and I bought book 2 and book 3. I found these on eBay. They're about £3 each. I got a little bit impatient because there was some time between me having this and buying these, and I found the matching editions on eBay, so I thought I would pick those up. So I think the only stuff I'm missing now from this whole Shadowhunter world is the newest trilogy, which isn't complete yet. So obviously I'll keep an eye out for those, but I don't have high hopes of finding them because they are the most recent. Next up, another thriller, The Chalk Man by Cj Tudor. I kept seeing this book everywhere. I was waiting to find it for a good price, because these books, for some reason, they seem to hike the price up on these. They must be popular. And I got this one for £1, so Cj Tudor. I think I've got a few Cj Tudor thrillers now. I'm very excited. This one says, none of us ever agreed on the exact beginning. Was it when we started drawing the chalk figures, or when they started to appear on their own? Was it the terrible accident, or when they found the first body? I have no idea what this is about, but I am excited to read it, and I really like this cover. It's one of these like soft touch, velvety feeling covers. That's my favourite. Next up, this was another one where I just saw it. It drew my eye. Soulmates by Holly Bourne. A love story to end the world. This was £1. Soulmates do exist, but not as you think. Every so often, two people are born who are the perfect match for one another, soulmates. But what if meeting your soulmate is earth-shattering, literally? An epic and extraordinary debut about falling in love. I just liked the sound of it. I have looked on Goodreads since. It looks like it has good reviews, so I'm looking forward to that one. Next up, Andrew picked up Wild Swans by Jung Chang. I don't know how to pronounce it. 3 Daughters of China. I have no idea what this book is about. It doesn't seem to tell me on the book what this book is about. Does anyone else get choked up by dedications in books? Every time I see a dedication, I'm like, ugh. This dedication says, to my grandmother and my father, who did not live to see this book. I paid £1 for this. I'll read you a tiny bit. These are just like things other people have said about the book. This book arouses all the emotions such as pity and terror that great tragedy is supposed to evoke, and also a complex mixture of admiration, despair and delight at seeing a luminous intelligence directed at the heart of darkness. Next up we have Dragon Keeper. We paid £3.99 for this in an Oxfam bookshop. We didn't need to because we already found a copy, but we hadn't logged it on Goodreads, and so we duplicated. So I believe we now have 2 copies of Dragon Keeper by Robin Hobb. But we've got 2 different editions, I think. I'm pretty sure. Here is the other copy. Although this one says The Dragon Keeper. I'm pretty sure they're the same. 50p. Both in good condition. The final book in this haul is The Poison Garden, Delicate, Dangerous, Deadly by Alex Marwood. This is another book that drew me in from the cover. It was a hardback and it was 99p from Oxfam. I'm not really sure what this is about. It follows a character. It seems to start when they're a child and then as they grow up. And it says, you can't walk away from a dark past without expecting it to catch up with you. I don't know anything about this book, but I was drawn in by the cover. And that is everything I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you next time.